My daughter is in fourth grade now, and we decided to challenge her a little bit more and to really help her get ahead in her math game. Now, obviously, since we are having a podcast around AI and human capabilities, we were wondering, what is a better setup for our daughter? Is it to be tutored by a real human being, or is it being tutored by AI? I personally find this a very fascinating conversation. And so this is going to be the topic of our episode in Who Do You Want to Be? And I am very, very happy and honored to have Abha here with me today. How are you, Abha?
Hi, Sabine. I'm really good. And this is a very interesting topic because we've spoken on a few episodes in this podcast about how AI impacts relationships, whether they're romantic relationships, companionships, or, elderly care. And we've talked about so many different angles of using AI and how it replaces or doesn't or should or shouldn't replace human interaction. So now when it comes to education, it's a whole different layer of conversation, which is why we're having these conversations, because nothing is very straightforward. And I think the reason we decided to have this particular conversation is because while you were looking for someone to challenge your child more in math, because she's very good at it, we have actually started using an AI math tutor for my daughter to help her with math. She's actually also very good at math, and we also wanted to challenge her and get her math to be stronger. And we found this AI tool called Synthesis, which is specifically for younger children to help them get some of their basics in maths, to help them to get some of the basic foundational level maths strong so that she can enjoy math. And it's all gamified. So we quite like that because she's interacting and she's actually having fun doing it. But the question is that the right decision? Should we have got a real tutor to come in? How does this affect my child's learning abilities? And how does it complement them? What are the pros? What are the cons? And this is what we're going to discuss today. And I think before we get into it, I'd like to just highlight the pros that we found with using AI as a tutor for my child is that she really enjoys it. They are very creative in how they're teaching her math. They are short blocks, so you can actually just limit it to a 15-minute, 20-minute lesson, and it's very, very efficient. It adapts to her level, so if she's not getting something, they find different ways to teach it, which she quite enjoys. But then on the flip side, she's learning math from someone who's not real. She can't really ask questions. They don't really understand her completely apart from what she's doing with her fingers on the screen. So it's really good as a supplement, I would say, right now for her math, but I wouldn't only use that to help her.
Yeah, this is so amazing that we both try very different ways of teaching or challenging our kids with math. So for us, even though ironically my husband works with AI every single day, and I would say he's quite deep into the topic, it was not really our first option to sign up our daughter for anything AI related when it comes to math. Our immediate first choice was a real human being, and he came recommended from a friend, which of course then made it even easier for us to go with him. And Mia, our daughter, has been doing it for about 2 months now, and she thoroughly enjoys this tutoring. Also, because, and here we go again, she is starting to understand her tutor better. She understands his language better. She knows, okay, he's asking me for this, so it's exactly this what he's looking for, and it's not something else. So she also gets used to him as a person, and that makes it more enjoyable for her because it's not just the math she's going for, but it's also that relationship with him. They are starting with a short conversation about how she's doing, how was her horse riding yesterday, and things like this, which creates a very warm atmosphere, and she's very comfortable with that. So those are definitely big advantages that I see. Apart from, of course, the things that you mentioned around she can ask questions, they can slow down. But on the flip side, what comes with a human tutor is a lot more effort from our end, for example. So we had to make the contact, we had to find time slots that work. Sometimes we have to change the schedule. We have to make sure that Mia is available exactly in that time slot, that she is on time, that she has all of her material ready, and all of those things. So it comes with a lot more effort than just pressing the button and having the app start, for example.
I think so we don't let our daughter learn math with this AI tool on her own. So there's always someone sitting next to her for two reasons. One, we're also learning how the tool works. So it helps us understand how is our daughter engaging with this tool and is this actually good for her? So we find that very important that we sit with her every time she uses the tool. And also what we find is super useful just doing that is because she's playing, so it's gamified, we are better understanding her level. I'm not sure we would have understood very well how she understands math or what she's learning at school in math if we didn't have that. Because I also find as a parent, it's quite hard to teach your children. No matter how good you are as a teacher, your relationship with your child is very different to a teacher. So while we've not outsourced her learning math or helping with her math to this tutor, we are finding it very beneficial in lots of ways. And what my husband does sometimes is he sits with her and she's doing math and he's seeing that she's consistently getting stuck somewhere. The app adapts and goes to a lower level so that she can get through that. That's already happening. But then my husband will take it offline and work with her on that one thing she was constantly stuck with, or give her a trick to help her get past it, something that he might have learned when he was growing up with math. So we are trying to combine both. And I think that's really the best way. How can we combine a tool like synthesis, which is really amazing to learn math? My daughter is 7. Coming home and doing math is not something she is very excited about, but she's kind of excited about using the app because it allows her a bit of screen time, of course. And also, it's quite engaging. They've made it very fun. Tools like synthesis and other AI tools that are gamifying learning have actually made the learning experience quite more fun for children because they feel like they're playing a game. But I wouldn't do it without us being involved. So I think that's kind of the route we're taking. Interestingly, we never have considered getting a math tutor for her at home because she's not struggling technically in anything. Like the teacher hasn't said in school that, we need to work on her maths or she's a little behind here. We've not got that feedback. The pure reason we started using synthesis is because we read really good reviews about it and we want our child's two things to be very strong. One is math and one is reading. And anything that can enable that in a short amount of time, we've decided to try. So again, it's a very personal choice. You might listen to this and be like, that's not for me. And that's okay. You might totally choose human over AI, or you might be like, oh, that's actually very interesting. Maybe my child can try synthesis. So again, it comes down to intention, who you are, what are your values, and how you want to incorporate these tools into your life, whether it's your own life or the life of your children. And there are pros and cons to everything. You really have to find what works for you. And there are math tutors, there are many other tutors. Like, for example, my daughter also learns Hindi at home, which is my language because I'm Indian. We speak Hindi at home. It's not our first language, but we do feel that our children should learn Hindi. I cannot teach Hindi to my daughter, so we do have someone come in and teach Hindi. Now, there are many apps that can help her learn Hindi, and we've tried them. Like Duolingo has a great Hindi app for kids, but she's really struggling with it. It's not working for her. So again, it depends. What are you using? Why are you using it? Is it actually adding any value, or is it just a gimmick that's actually detrimental in the long term?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I would also add it definitely also depends on the preference of the child. So, how do they prefer to learn? Because you just brought in Duolingo, and I am using Duolingo myself because I'm learning two languages with it and I love it. And Mia saw me doing it, and I didn't want to restrict her from using Duolingo because I also like that gamified approach. And I think if she sees me spend time on the phone, at least she sees that it's, well, either for work or it's something to learn with, but my phone is not there to, just play and spend time. So she was asking me if she can use Duolingo as well because she wanted to enhance her Arabic. That's how it started because she's learning Arabic in school, of course. But then she also saw that Duolingo offers chess. So she was asking me if she get into chess, and I thought, yes, of course, why not? So she started to get into chess, which I find wonderful because it was her choice. She's 9 years old. It's quite early, at least for my understanding. I learned chess when I was, I think, a teenager. So now, whenever she has some time and she's done with her homework and everything, she's asking me if she can play chess for 20 minutes. And I let her play chess. And now she was asking me, Mommy, can we get a real chessboard for Christmas? So, this is a wonderful way of how you can also really spark children's interest in certain subjects simply because almost everything is available to learn with AI. So, I completely agree with you, Abba, when you said that a blend of both is probably the best of both worlds because, of course, AI has a specific way of teaching our children and having them understand certain concepts, but human beings have a different way of how to teach. It's a lot more emotional, of course, to a certain extent. It's still more tailor made because we can react to, for example, a child's reaction on their faces, where you can see doubt or you can see if they didn't really understand it or whatever else is it. That is, AI is not always there yet. So I would say that combination of using AI and using humans for teaching is probably the best way forward, simply because it's this blend that our children are living with and will continue living with anyways. I don't think there's a single child, especially not in Dubai, that grows up without any AI around them. But equally, there is not a single child that grows up without any humans around them. So for them to also really see, okay, this is what I can get out of AI, this is how I interact with AI, and this is how I interact with a human, I believe is the best that we can give to our children. Also, when I reflect on our conversation that we had on parasocial relationships, our children need to keep an understanding of how to react with human beings. They need to keep an understanding of how to react to emotions, of how to calibrate themselves when they are interacting with different people in different contexts and in different situations. So, yeah, I think I will start taking a look into synthesis as well, just to see what that app can offer us. And then potentially also tell the tutor, hey, this is something that Mia is using. Maybe you can incorporate it into the tutoring lessons as well.
And that's just it. It's what works for you and what blend is the right blend for you and your child. There is no one way to do things. There's not one user manual that this is what you should do, or this is the right way, this is not the right way. There are so many different elements. There's like, how does your child learn? Is this working for your child? Like Duolingo is not working for my daughter, but synthesis is. How do you want to incorporate these tools into your life in a way that works best for you, your family, your child? How can we make sure that we're using these tools to enhance everything we're doing, saving us time, money, energy, while still getting a lot of benefit, whether it's for us or our child's future? So again, this is the premise of this whole podcast. In this world, as we are entering an AI first world, will soon very much become all AI first, and our kids are going to see that. How are we making sure we're incorporating the best of these tools and avoiding the worst of them? And what's best for you is different to what may be best for somebody else. And that's totally okay. You just need to be aware and find a way to understand how this fits into your life or doesn't. We should not feel pressure that we have to. If something is working and you're happy with it, so be it. But we must keep an open mind, and we must be aware of all these opportunities and options that we are being presented, not only for us, but for our children as they grow up in an AI first world. So I hope you enjoyed listening today, and we'll see you next week.